So let's start here. Katt Williams' hit list include Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, Rickey Smiley, Faizon Love, Cedric the Entertainer, Michael Blackson, Tiffany Haddish, Ludacris, P. Diddy, Harvey Weinstein, with honorable mentions being Kim and Kanye, Jussie Smollett, Sexy Red, Gary Owens, okay? But the main part is his emphasis on the Ludanati and the devil himself. Are y'all ready or are y'all ready? Let's get into it. So Katt Williams came here to say his piece. People have been talking smack behind his back, saying little tidbits and lies, and he been letting it slide. Like, I don't think y'all understand the gap of the time of these interviews prior to him coming forward and saying something, okay? Even Shannon Sharp said he been trying to get this interview with Katt Williams since 2022, all right? And Katt, when he came over there, the first thing he said, baby, this is the year of the reckoning, the year of truth, the moment where lies will be exposed, okay? So he came here not with just a chip on his shoulder, and not just because he had to get some things off his chest, but he was here to clear the room, all right? We're going to start with our first top of the person, okay? We got Steve Harvey. He poked some holes in Steve Harvey's story about being homeless and all this other stuff, saying that Steve Harvey was making like $3,000 every night doing stand-up back in the day. So how was he homeless and where was he homeless and why would he be homeless? Okay, major question, all right? So he even broke down the fact that Steve Harvey stole from Mark Curry, okay, when it came down to the TV show. Now we all see hanging with Mr. Cooper, okay? We got the suits, we got the little bit of corniness, we got the positivity. It was very the same, okay? It wasn't similar. It was the same, okay? All right, but now, see, me, I go do my research. I'm not just going to go about what they responded. I mean, Steve ain't really have responses other than, you know, people hating on me, and I'm just going to focus on what I got going on. And, you know, the simple response that most people get, it's a I go high when they go low response. But the reality is I feel like you really can't combat what he said because you know receipts started flying like the woodworks out in the streets, all right? So with that being said, I went back and looked at the previous interview that Steve had with Shannon because I need to hear where this is coming from because, you know, people are quick to be like, oh, he just coming at everybody, but they don't understand what was being said. So even Steve himself admitted in the beginning of his career as a comedian, he used to go and watch other comedian shows and rewrite their jokes and redo them his way. That's stealing. Okay, so you know how I roll. You know, once a thief, always a thief. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're going to deny it. And not even just admit that they took somebody and flipped it. Okay, then I heard Steve's story about how he got on the Apollo, Amateur Night at Apollo. You know who job that was first, right? Mark Curry's. All right. I'm just saying, he might have got the position rightfully, might have not, but stolen job. So stolen jokes, stolen job. And Mark Curry said that Steve was stealing some of his jokes too now, all right? And then turn around the show. I'm just saying that stealing on top of stealing on top of stealing. I mean, fool me once, fool me twice, 3 times. At that point, we got to call you for what you are. So my thing is this, right? Steve, we're going to go with Steve. If Katt is saying this is being done, and you is not even responding to exactly what he is saying. See, my thing is this one thing if he just attack you and say, oh yeah, you was wearing a wig and a lace front. He ain't even addressed the fact that he was wearing a wig. Was you wearing a wig? Did he really like challenge you in front of 10,000 people and demolish you? And you went back in your corner and said, you know what, I ain't gonna stand up ain't for me. Okay? Because even he admitted himself, Steve admitted himself on Shannon's show, that it was hard to follow Bernie Mac. Now, you know when somebody speak about somebody they don't like, but they don't want to make it look like they're a hater, and then the person has passed away, so you want to be politically correct. So the way he spoke about Bernie was in a way he didn't want to give him the respect, but he had no choice to, and if he did, he was coming for like a hater. Well, that's what Steve was doing. Okay, but he admitted wholeheartedly when they did the Kings of Comedy tour, it was hard to follow Bernie. He didn't want to follow Bernie. He kept closing and closing. It was hard. And he admitted it. Bernie is a hard act to follow. Okay. But after stating that Cedric is the funniest mother effer that he ever known in life. Now, you know damn well Cedric ain't more funny than Bernie Mac. Who he lying to? Then I started to see there was an allegiance. But I'm going to break that down in a second. All right. So these are things that jumped out to me for Steve. I'm like, okay, he addressed certain things that about you stealing, certain things about your parent. You didn't address none of it. You just said a hater. No, it ain't no hater when it's there. Now, let me break it down. Steve admitted to stealing jokes from previous comedians and rewriting a joke. Now, there was a video circulating about the gas joke that Steve did. Katt Williams also did a gas joke just like that. I'm down to the nozzle going in the guzzle, and it's guzzling, and everything was pretty much exactly the same. So if somebody admits to thievery, then you can see physically with their thievery with the two shows. Then you turn around and see a joke is stolen as well. Well, at this point, what do you believe? Yeah, maybe you stop doing stand-up because there ain't nobody you can steal from no more. Because we do got social media. We can see what somebody said the joke first. And you was the last one in the room. Maybe you can't steal nobody's stuff and redo it right now. Is that the real reason why you stopped stand-up? Because that's what I'm going to assume. It ain't just because you're trying to be politically correct and I don't want to say the wrong thing because I'm making money from my shows. That sound cute and that sound good. But we can see for what it is. If you can see it, you see it. If you want to know it, you know it. It's right there on the surface. It's right in your face. Neither here nor there. I realized when Katt Williams said something about them being a conglomerate, a group, it hit, but it didn't hit as much as when I watched every single one of their interviews separately. I'm about to break that down for you. So next on the hit list, we have what? Let me go in the order and how long they interviews was, because Steve had the next highest one, which was 2 hours. And it was 2 hours, some minutes. And then I want to say Rickey Smiley had the next set that was a little bit long. So I'm going to go with Rickey Smiley. Let's break down Rickey Smiley real quick. And the reason why I'm laughing is because it is funny how Katt broke down the fact that he's always wearing a dress. He's always playing a woman. Because I don't really know a Rickey Smiley role outside of even radio where he doesn't play a woman other than the Santa Claus role. So yeah, he did say something out of play and he come back and he tried to correct it. You know, Rickey's response was a little bit different than everybody else's, and we'll break that down. Rickey kind of was like, well, I ain't mean it that way, and I want us to be brothers and it's all love and this, that, and the third. But see, I pay attention to what's not being said and what's already been understood based on past interview up until now where he at, right? So with this being said, Rickey, you claim that you were supposed to play the role of Money Mike. And Katt was supposed to play now the Santa role. Now, we done had Ice Cube come in and refute part of your story. Yes, the part about you playing Money Mike was correct to a small little percentage of it. You tried out for the role. They thought you was never good for the role. See, you said you shot the role and all that. So it was a lot of lies mixed in with truth. All right. So when you said that, okay, I was like, all right, we could get around that. Ice Cube came back and we're going to get around Ice Cube politically correct answers. All right. So when it came down to the whole dress thing, him and Shannon was talking. And Rickey tried to weasel out the fact that it's not bad to be in a dress as a black man. Specifically as a black man. No man should be in a dress because that's already emasculated and that's clearly a part of the agenda. And we'll get to the agenda of who it is. Okay? But you shouldn't be doing that. So when him and Shannon was talking, they laughed and he's like, man, people be just taking it too far and they make it seem like something's not and make it act like you're doing something you ain't supposed to be doing. And Shannon is joking and laughing and agreeing with Rickey. I'm going to call Shannon out real fast, real quick, because when Katt was talking about Rickey being in a dress, Tyler being in a dress, Martin Lawrence trying to put him in a dress, Shannon was real mute. And then trying to kind of make excuses for it. And he was kind of getting upset. And I'm going to tell you why Shannon was getting upset. Because if you know, you know. I do my research. Shannon, when he was on there with Rickey Smiley, he was like, shoot, hell, give me $1 million. And I'll put a bikini on. Shannon, what? Repeat. This is the stuff I'm talking about. That's that feminine energy coming from a strong black man. This man just admitted that for $1 million, he will put on a bikini his damn self. Okay, so this could explain to you why Shannon's position was the way it was when Katt was talking about these dresses on Shannon's friends, so to speak. Okay, and neither here nor there. He did name this show Club Shay Shay. Shay Shay is a female name. I don't get it how you swing it. I don't care. Ain't no grown man, ain't no little boy, ain't no nothing being called Shay Shay. Okay, Shay Shay, Shanae, too damn close for me. All right, so that's why I'm gonna put that at. All right, so Rickey Smiley is explaining this. Okay. That the whole dress thing and how it was all, and people were taking it far-fetched. Now, the part I want to get is the part where I need him to address the fact that Katt Williams says in his contract. Now, is it in Katt Williams' contract? Because the only person who would kind of know that is Ice Cube, all right? And Ice Cube tidbit and walked around a couple of these things. And let's break down. I got to go, since I'm talking Rickey Smiley, since I'm talking Katt Williams, since I'm talking about this role, let's talk about how Ice Cube decided he was going to talk about it, all right? I felt like Ice Cube was trying to play the fence. He was trying to play nobody's side, trying to stay neutral and in the middle. But bruh, you gotta be honest. Now, my first question to Ice Cube, if I was to interview him, would be this. I'm not about to ask you, I'm gonna ask you a question in the comment. Was it or was it not in Katt Williams' contract that if he does a movie with Rickey Smiley got to wear that dress? He got to play this character. Because we saw it in First Sunday, Rickey Smiley was a female. Was he not? Was he not? So only person who would know was Ice Cube, because that was Ice Cube movie. Was it not? I'm just saying. So he didn't address that, okay? I didn't like the fact that he didn't address the scene, the RAPE scene in the movie as well. Katt was very stickler about he didn't want that in there. So he tried to kind of weasel over there. I don't change stuff based on the script. Now, I will say he did give Katt the respect enough to say that he did formulate his character. He did create this character. He did write. He did expand his character. He did what he was supposed to do. He was trying to take over the film, and he did just that. Now Cube admitted that. At the same time, shutting down all of Rickey Smiley's whole story. Because he said from the get-go, from the audition, that Rickey Smiley was not the right part for Money Mike. He said Katt came in and immediately it was his part. So you're telling me there's no way that Ice Cube is saying, so you couldn't have shot your part for that part. If he said you didn't even make it past the audition for that role, he knew it wasn't fit for you. He immediately knew you were Santa. And then Katt went right behind you. Katt never even auditioned for another role, according to Cube. He auditioned straight for Money Mike and it was sold. So you're lying, Rickey. You're lying. All right, let's start there. So that shut all that down. So I just feel like in certain instances, I feel like when people are calling out the powers that be, and I'm putting that in quotation because they ain't that powerful, like Katt said, people are afraid and timid to stand on the side of truth, whether it be honest, because they don't want to see they're in aligned with or in allegiance with the person who's calling out the system. And I'm seeing that with Cube, and I'm like, Cube, come on now. I thought you was against them trying to come up. I mean, are you kind of signing deals on the back end that we don't know about? Because it's got a little funny to me. Now, people are going to say because he's cool with Kevin, he's cool with Rickey, he put all these comedians on, he got all his relationships, and okay, cool, Harvey, all of them. Okay, cool. But where is it when you draw the line where this dude is telling 100% the truth? Now, he said most of the stuff he said is true and some is not. But I'm like, what part is not? What part is not? Prove to us it's not. Because as far as we can see, everything that Katt said has come to fruition. It's been true. Now, boom. Let's go. Let's take it back a bit, okay? So now we're saying this. Katt explained another reason why he don't like this. I don't like this either because, I've been stolen from too by comedians who call themselves comedians who really not, who don't write, like Katt said about Cedric the Entertainer. Okay, let's break it down. Ced did the same thing. Now, we can act like we ain't see it, but we saw it, all right? Now, we saw the clip of Katt doing his joke. I believe it was Comic View BET, right? I mean, down to the bumping with the music, all right? To the rolling down the window, so pointing out the window, all right? To hitting it. You know how we do the reverse. You know how black people do. Okay, and there's people who can actually vouch that Katt did this first. For example, Rodney Perry was in the front row talking about something. How come he ain't come forward and admit he saw that joke first by Katt Williams? Is what I'm talking about. These damn alliances in Hollywood. Because it's BS. He clearly in the front row enjoying the hell out of that joke. Then we see Ced do it, okay, in the movie for Kings of Comedy. That's his closing joke. Y'all remember the one about the spaceship? Y'all know how it go. We know it verbatim. It's crazy to us that we can see it and then act like it didn't happen. Ced still lying, talking about it happened. I watched his interview on Club Shay. Okay, and there was a couple of things that was disturbing, okay, that he had to say that I didn't like at all, okay? So one, he tried to say, show us the proof, basically, or where is that? Thank you for Black Twitter. It ain't Twitter no more, but Black X, I guess. X. All right, for bringing it forward, the videos, okay? Because we have exposed Cedric the liar, okay? The non-writer, okay? Now, Ced has been said to have not written. He said he helped people punch up. But anybody can help somebody punch up a joke. Like, for instance, you have something and then you be like, add that might be cool. That don't make you a writer of original material. by any means necessary, okay? Let's be honest, okay? So with said acting like he ain't do the joke, I already lost all kind of respect. Now, I also gonna put out something, people gonna be like, maybe you taking it too far, but I'm just saying. He came on the show, and he had a skull on his cap, and he had St. Louis legend, okay? Anytime you gotta call yourself a legend, probably not a legend, but St. Louis legend, and St. Louis was in rainbow colors. I'm just saying that's a hell of a symbolism to go together at one damn time. I'm just saying you know. I'm not saying nothing, but I'm saying something. Okay. And when Say having a show and he has all these other things, okay, this is the same thing that what you're gonna be saying. He said y'all selling yourself out so y'all can get this money. Cause like you said, we said stand-ups. He claiming the same reason Steve. It's almost like they playing from the same playbook. I ain't doing no stand-ups because I got to stay politically correct because I got my shows. And you work for CBS. Because y'all owned. Because y'all not free. Like Katt was saying, you're not free. They can tell you what to say, when to say, how to walk, how to talk, maybe even giving you wives. Like he said, I'm just saying, stuff starting to pile up and make sense on Katt's side the more these people start to talk. And that's why I went back and watched the other interviews, okay? So this is what Seth is saying about his career and why he doesn't do stand-up at the moment. Now, I'm going to go into the conglomerate thing because I want y'all to pay attention to something. All right, so Steve and Seth have been knowing each other for a long time. Okay, so from my understanding, Seth stole a joke from Katt Williams. Could have been more than one, but the one we know about. And what we see is Steve stole a joke from Katt Williams. Two people in cahoots who work together closely. Supposedly, Steve stole the show from Mark Curry. And who did he bring on to do the show with him? But Cedric. I mean, that's a deep alliance all in itself right there. All right. Then Rickey pointed out something, as well as said Nolan, and they all Kappas. I want to say that's the right one. They all Kappas. Now, we all know fraternities. If you know the endowment of fraternities is that they are associated with what we like to call Illuminati. They have a play with the Illuminati. You can say what you want. It's a brotherhood, but what kind of brotherhood? What threw me for a loop was where Rickey says something on his interview with Shay. And I'm bringing Cedric into this because it makes sense, right? He said that Steve got them all on the radio, right? I'm not talking about Seth, but Rickey in this case. Got them all into radio. Got them all these checks, all right? Which I respect. You put your mans on, that's what you're supposed to do. But what Rickey said was, we became competition for each other. Saying my radio show against Steve's show. But instead of us actually competing with each other, we would have phone conversations before our shows and say what we're going to discuss. And we would get on the same accord and say that we pushing a certain agenda through radio. Soon as he said that, tennis went up. Pushing an agenda? Oh, so they put Steve in position for radio. And he got all his other little puppets he knew would play ball. And y'all all are pushing the agenda of the enemy. Let's be 100. Because what do they show when they show? They talk. Steve acts like a female too. He had a skit where he acted like a female. On Rickey Smiley's show, he's acting like the female. He does have Gary with the T. Forgive me, Lord, but I'm going to have to say what I say. Gary is a homosexual man who is very flamboyant about his ways. He got the brat on there who not only married a woman, okay, but had a baby through unnatural means, okay, through in vitro, which is not of God at all. Okay, this is what's on the show while he's saying that he brings on pastors who bring in the word. That's confusion. That's confusion. What kind of agenda are y'all pushing? I'm just being clear. Okay, and then we got to be honest. A couple of these men have been in the media already when their lives have been exposed by either their assistants or people close to their camp. Steve just had a whole scandal with his wife cheating with the pool boy. Was it the pool boy? I might be making that up, but that's what they said. But she was cheating, and he was cheating with his long-term nutritionist. So it's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on behind the scenes, like Kevin Hart. We gonna skate right on over to Kevin Hart, because for the life of me, I can't understand why when everybody's explaining their favorite comedians or who's funny, who's on top, or who they just can't get up, they never tried to mention Katt. Now, this is before Katt's interview. Remember, all these interviews happening prior to Katt. They never tried to mention Katt at all in the category, at all. But they all seem to mention Kevin Hart, like quick, okay? And I'll be 100 with you. Kevin Hart ain't funny. He ain't funny today as he was funny back then. Let's be 100. He ain't been funny in a very long damn time. First of all, one of the most terrible movies ever is Night School. And that had Tiffany Haddish in him. And it was terrible. It was the worst comedy comedy movie of my life. I hate that movie. That right there show you that they was unfunny. Okay? But let's talk about Kevin Hart's response to Katt Williams before we get into this weird obsession with everybody trying to mention Kevin Hart in such high esteem when you talk about they've been out for 30 years. I mean, what, he been out probably 10 tops, maybe 10, 15, maybe. Okay, anyway. So Kevin's response was, you don't respond to the circus or something like that. And then like 2 seconds later, that's all he talked about was Katt this, Katt that, Katt. And y'all, the jokes in him. Mind you, he's on an NBA. Now I got to respect the position he's in. You're on an NBA platform, okay? Supposed to be talking about the game, but all you can do is talk about Katt Williams. And every joke that you get don't hit. There you had your red plastic boys, red plastic cup boys, whoever the hell they are, because I ain't never heard of them anyway. Sitting over here trying to back you up, and they can't back you up. I've never seen the most driest, corniest, unfunny, try to come back, ain't come back at all jokes in my life. He proved Katt Williams right that he wasn't funny, that he's a plant. You know? And the words came, he's a plant. Come on, bruh. And then I just gotta say, you said you ain't gonna talk about it. You said you're gonna entertain the circus. You did it for like 30 minutes on this platform. Then you over here, recently, you're supposed to be promoting a movie. They bring him up. You still discuss him. I'm just saying you can't. The reason is because none of y'all so far, and I ain't named everybody because we got a whole laundry list, all right, ain't refute nothing he said. Y'all ain't canceling it out. Y'all ain't cut it with truth. Y'all ain't backed it with evidence. Nothing. And Kevin Hart right now is looking crazy because Tasha K just exposed him with the assistant and all the dirt he been doing on his handed over to him wife. According to Katt Williams. I'm going by Katt Williams' words. A light-skinned wife who don't do no interviews. I'm just saying, okay? Then let's take the cake right now. And I probably should have said this for last, but y'all already seen it by now. Torrie Hart announces that she is going on tour with Katt Williams. I mean, this month. Not next month, next year, 6 months from now. This month, she got 3 whole dates, y'all. All right? Called it out. I'm going. And now, this is after Katt Williams said, I only put on people who funnier than me. He said it. I did his word. Go look at the Shannon Sharp interview. So, that begs to differ. If Katt believes that Torrie is funnier than him, or as funny as him, and he don't believe Kevin is funny at all, what does that say? Now, I'm going to give y'all some back history because, you know, I be knowing my stuff. Torrie Hart, when she met Kevin, she was already doing comedy. She was actually actively doing comedy. He was not. He was busting out tables. She said that he had aspiring dreams to be a comedian. And he would tell her jokes and she'd be like, oh, those is good. Those is good. And you know, as any good wife would do, I'm pretty sure she assisted him. But she assisted him further than just probably helping with jokes. She actually put her comedic career on the back burner. Started to work for the family. Money, worked, paid the bills. While he went out and pursued his comedy. Okay? This is that I guess this is the subservient, the submissive thing that they want women to do. It's like, oh, my husband, I'm gonna let him be the head, let him be the lead. I'm gonna support his dreams. Yeah. She had babies, took care of babies, all that. He went and did the comedy. This is her story. Now, for those who don't know, if you know, she was on, I believe it was Hollywood Exes, where all the exes got the show shut down, Kevin Hart included, okay? Because they didn't like the fact that they was telling their truths. Okay, neither here nor there. So I'm happy to see that Torrie is actually going after her. She has been doing stand-up for a while, unbeknownst to many, is on her page, go look at the videos and all this stuff. But the fact that Katt put her on, didn't even mention it, and didn't say nothing. He didn't promote it during his interview. Hell, he didn't even promote it on his own page. But it's called The Dark Matter Tour by anybody who want to go see it because I think it's going to be real good, especially that Torrie's on here. And now we'll get to really see what's funny because Torrie has said, if he don't talk about me, if his jokes aren't about me, they really don't do much. They not funny. And you ain't never lie because when he try to talk about the new wife, none of them jokes hit. They don't hit. He ain't funny unless he's talking about her. And to me, his stuff has to come from other characters he see, whether it be his daddy with the all right, or stuff about Torrie. So, we're about to really see who really funny and who not. I mean, Kevin already proved he ain't funny because he couldn't even come back at Katt. Couldn't even do it. It didn't work. I mean, it was just dry. I mean, whew. If he was on the stage, he would have got booed like T.I. got booed for trying to be a comedian. I'm just saying. Okay, we got to talk about this character. Now, I'll be honest with you, I know probably going to be like, listen, he didn't ring no bells for me at all, Earthquake. All right, I seen him around, heard the name, but he ain't, like, when you mention your funny comedians, you going to mention, at the time, you would have mentioned a Kevin, you would have mentioned a Katt, you would have mentioned a Eddie Murphy, you know, we know Rich Pryor is a legend, but we, you know, same different, Bernie Mac, like, if you going to really, I ain't never knew nobody want to mention no Earthquake. I'm just being honest. I mean, to be honest with you, if y'all know him, y'all know him. You don't, because I really wasn't fond of him at all. And he had the shortest interview. I just want to be clear, okay? He had the shortest interview with Shannon, and most of his interview was about everybody else besides himself. So that should tell you enough. That means he ain't done enough. He just been around for 30 years, ain't done enough. All right, he just been piggybacking off Steve and being a boy and holding other people down and probably gatekeeping, helping gatekeep, even though he didn't really know what gatekeeping was. All right. Neither here nor there. But he said something that threw me for a loop. I was just like, I'm going to have to just bring this one in, his interview with Shannon, since what you going to say. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about what Katt said. But he said, when asked how did he get started in comedy, he said, oh, my whole family do comedy with my brother. He started out with his brother. My brother is really the funny one. He funnier than me. But he don't know how to put a joke together. And I'm never going to show him. You going to stay where you at. You going to stay in your job. You going to keep working. Immediately, that's a form of gatekeeping right there. It's gatekeeping in his own family, y'all. Y'all don't think this would do some foul stuff to anybody else, his own brother, who he admits is funnier than him. He could have put his brother on. He could have put his brother in position. He didn't do that. He purposely kept his brother under here. Wouldn't even teach him to that right there. That was enough for me. I ain't need to hear nothing else from him. But he had nothing much to say. But you know what? The funny thing about it was when he was talking about the jokes, and I was like, you know, maybe he don't write jokes. Maybe his brother writes the jokes. He steals from his brother, and he just puts them all together, or he takes it from his family members. And then I thought about what Katt Williams said. This is why I'm laughing, you know, because he said Steve Harvey. Matter of fact, let me break it down. He said Steve Harvey is the one who told him, don't write down your jokes. Earthquake, don't write down your jokes. Put it in here. Use it in here. So he said he don't write pen and paper. And I said, that ain't why he don't write. He don't write because he can't read. Somebody caught winning whatever jokes he was writing, and they like, what the hell am I supposed to say? They was going to find out he was dumb. I think Steve knew he was dumb, and Steve said, don't write, because other people going to figure out you're dumb, and we going to play this off. So that joke hit different when I went back and watched the interview with Earthquake admitting that he don't even write anymore. His joke, they in mine. I was like, yeah, I think Katt Williams was right. He didn't get the job because can't read. just you know, you can't read, you can't write. Because what the hell you writing? Gibberish. Anyway, all right. So these are the main people who mentioned. These are the main people who responded. Oh, Michael Blackson responded. Let's talk about him. All right, real quick. It wasn't much. I don't feel like it was much that Katt said about him. I think he just pretty much was like, bruh, nobody even knew you was a new African dude from the internet that was funny with the mother sucker. And I told you how to expand and make yourself look better. Get out the dirty dashikis and clean up your act and go do a school in Africa and really do something for your people. We got to give him some positive advice. And he said, this dude forgets about that. And the reason why Katt was so upset, and I went back and watched what Michael Blackson said, I believe it was on Drink Champs. He said that Katt Williams smoked crack. Now, he was trying to supposedly, now, according to Blackson, he said he was really bigging up Katt, and he wanted to say, it don't matter how much crack y'all think he smoked, he really that dude, or whatever he was trying to say. And this is me kind of paraphrasing, but that was the line. But instead of saying, y'all think he smoked, he said, no matter how much crack he smoked. And he said, he admitted that they was friends and they was cool. And so I'm like, why would you even say something like that? First of all, I'm thinking a whole bunch of things. This agenda thing makes a lot of sense because one of the first things that Kevin Hart said as his response back to Katt was that he on drugs. Even before this interview, he said it on Charlamagne and them show, he on drugs. Like they keep pushing this drugs narrative. Okay, and we're going to break down this whole drug narrative in 2 seconds about what Katt Williams said. But the fact that Michael Blackson said that and you were supposed to be his friend and he looked out for you, it sounds crazy to me. It sounds like either come along, play along, let's break him down all together, or you going to be just like him. Because that didn't make no sense to me. And then, like you said, you brushed it off when you found a dude was mad about it. He had every right to be mad about it. You're painting a narrative of him, especially when people think that y'all cool and y'all close and y'all friends, for it to come out your mouth, come out as truth to some people. So the perception is everything. And you let that junk stand. You didn't correct it. You didn't fix it. You ain't try to clean it up. You were just like, whatever. And just because some stuff happened in your personal life where you lost your friend. And y'all already know when I say lose your friend at that time at the height of your career, you know what I'm talking about. It starts to add up and make sense. Because when you can call stuff a coincidence, but when stuff start lining up like that, it is what it is. So I felt like he was justified in saying what he said about Michael Blackson. And I really don't feel like he said anything negative. I think he just called a spade a spade. And in this case, a very black, dark spade. But anyway, neither here nor there. So that was that. All right. And then he mentioned Gary Owens for a quick second. And the reason why I'm going to go with Gary Owens for a quick second is only because he was saying that Gary Owens didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not really part of our culture. He might be a white dude that's kind of cool, but he don't really get our culture. So he don't really get our talk because he didn't even understand that Katt was saying that he didn't sell his soul because of that's why he ain't crossed over. That's why he's white and been in comedy for 30 years and ain't getting those big checks like all other white dudes is because he ain't sold out. And he didn't get that. And somebody had to explain that to him. But he was an honorable mention just because he wanted you to understand what it looked like when you sell out and when you don't. And now I'm going to bring all the people first before I get to this drug thing because they all mentioned the drug thing. If y'all paid attention, they all had the same playbook. Let's say the drugs. Let's say the drugs. It's the drugs. Like, that's crazy. So Luda goes in and do this week. Dang, I said I wasn't gonna curse, but it was so, I have to curse. It's weak freestyle, all right? It ain't rapped in I don't know how many years, all right? Don't do Ludanati no more. He don't come out and get on nobody tracks no more. Nothing. All of a sudden, he want to come out with this weak freestyle to respond to Katt Williams saying that he took an Illuminati deal. Okay, because it ain't about the wife. Everybody want to focus on the wife. Yes, he spoke about the wife. He said 7 people got a wife. I'm just saying, if it add up, let it add up. Okay. Now, Shorty don't do interviews maybe because she got a strong accent. I don't even know. She claims she's from Africa, but she don't look like she's from that side of Africa. It's weird. Anyway, neither know that she is one of them light-skinned, funny face women that don't do interviews. I mean, he was true on that. But let's focus on the real part of what Katt Williams said about Luda. He said around the time when both of their careers was at a certain height. Because remember, Ludacris was not doing much. He had the rapping, yes. But acting, no. That was not there. Let's be clear, okay? Let's not even fake and funk like he was the hottest actor you had ever been around. No, it's not true. Came down to it. He said, I got the deal and Luda got the deal. These are 2 people. We had to cut off all our hair, cut off our sideburns, right? Okay. And then we had to take the deal. We was going to get, he said 10 million. Was it 10 million for 20 movies or something like that? Okay. And so far, you got to be honest. Luda, who ain't never acted none, and never really did none, ain't really showed no. I mean, he's been in as many Fast and Furious as Tyrese, and Tyrese really had acting going on prior to Fast and Furious. Somebody help me make it, and he can't act. Y'all tell me a little scene where you was like, yeah, he did that. Not even in none of the Fast and Furious is he like convincing you like, yeah, he played that part. I'm just saying. And then he did cut his hair. He did get rid of sideburns, and he stopped rapping. And then the next thing you know, he ain't married none of his baby mamas, not even the side chick baby mama who had the baby, the black baby he had that he wasn't going to claim at first. That he married this weird looking light-skinned woman out of the blue, some weird woman. First of all, her name don't even sound real. Okay, married her and then took the baby. I know stuff. Took the baby from the black woman, said she was unfit, and took that baby straight from that black woman and raised it with this weird woman. Don't act like y'all remember that, because I remember. And now Luda don't do nothing based on culture no more. And like I said, he ain't rapping no more, and he don't do Luda Day no more in Atlanta no more. I'm just saying. Some ain't clean the water. And the fact that you want to sit here and the first thing come out your mouth is the first thing that Katt Williams said when he stepped on Club Shay. He said the #1 job of somebody who's in the Illuminati is to convince you that they ain't in the Illuminati. They deny. What's the first line that comes out of Luda's mouth pretty much? Illuminati. I'm Ludanati. What the hell that mean? What did that mean? Trash. I believe in bars. That was trash, okay? Then he talking about he got Jesus peace. First of all, he named all of his materialistic things, okay? What's the first thing that the devil likes to dangle in front of you? Trinkets. He's naming all his materialistic things. Okay, like we're supposed to be impressed. Then you talk about you got the Jesus pieces with the the diamond encrusted crown or whatever, thorns. Hold on. Let me just break something down to you. Anytime anybody's wearing the Jesus piece, understand that is a form of Satan. Okay? Satan symbolism. Because first of all, that ain't Jesus. That's an image they gave us. to make you hate Jesus. First of all, if you want to be technical, there's such a divide because people don't believe Jesus is white, black. That's not his image. It's actually a gay man. Okay, it was a mobster's son who was gay. That is the image of Jesus you have today around your neck, Luda. And then God's number one thing is not to make any graven images. Did you not know that was like the second commandment? Should have no idols, no graven images. There should be no graven image around your neck. Not a Jesus piece, not a cross, not a none of that. So if that's your first symbol is that I'm not the Illuminati because I got a Jesus piece on my neck, please get real. I don't know who you think you fooling because when you on this side of light, you know what's falsehood. And that was to me was a, okay, the side you denying that you ain't never did the Illuminati, you ain't part of it. That's the first thing y'all supposed to say. And then on top of that, you went straight for the, what was his last line, y'all? I don't know if y'all know what that means. He was trying to say he on them drugs. They went right back to the let's assassinate his character to say this man on drugs. So let's get into the drugs because I know y'all wondering because I keep bringing it up because I have to bring it up. Katt talked about a lot of stuff other than talking about everybody and their drama and stuff he had with them and coming at them with his jokes. Respectfully, he is a comedian. He's supposed to do that, okay? He did talk about a situation in which he grew up and he was homeless. And he was out in Florida and he used to live in a park around all these other homeless people. And they all got there. He said they was doctors, lawyers, and all this stuff. And they got there because they had done one thing in their life that they regretted. And each one of them shared a story with this 13-year-old boy who decided to leave home. And we're going to talk about why he decided to leave home because that's very important to everything he's talking about now. So boom, they explained to him, if I had not did that one thing, I lost wives, houses, cars, jobs, everything, my family. If I had not done this one thing, and he said they all said something in common. They all was homeless. They all was different backgrounds and races. That's something I wanted to pay attention to that I thought he said that was so important. Asian, Hispanic, white, black, you name it. All different. But all different drug they used though. It didn't matter. It was just meth, it was crack, it was coke, whatever. But they all ended up in the same position based off one decision to use a drug. They all had different drugs. And I thought it was very important that he was saying that they had different drugs. Because, you see, if they all had been on crack, he could have easily been like, I don't do no drugs. And you'd be like, nah, nigga, just because you don't do crack don't mean you ain't doing meth. But he was very, very, very strategic in his story and telling you that they all did a different drug and they all ended up in the same place. And he said, hell, I'm not here for that reason. I damn sure don't like it being here, even though I know why I'm here. I ain't never, ever doing a drug. I don't know about y'all, but when I was growing up, all my little friends were doing, like ecstasy became a new hot thing. Everybody's doing weed. Everybody smoke weed. Everybody try a little weed. I try a little weed. But ecstasy became this new hot thing and everybody wanted to take ecstasy, right? Me, I ain't never had another drug in my system ever by my own fruition at all. I never wanted to try another drug. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. It's because, see, I didn't have to hear stories. I saw crackheads in my neighborhood, okay? And what they was doing for crack wasn't even appealing at all. So I knew crack was out the question. But when my homies and they're trying to peer pressure and everybody doing drug, ecstasy and everybody saying it's this cool new thing, I seen the aftermath of ecstasy. People was like walking around like this. Yo, I got lockjaw. Yo, what's good? Looking dumb. I didn't want that. I don't want none of that. I done see people that lace they stuff with woolly cigarettes and stuff like that be out they damn mind because they done turn around and got angel dust in they stuff. Nope. None of that. So I 1,000% believe Katt when he said he has never touched a hard drug. He said he do weed. It is what it is. He even made an honorable mention of Snoop Dogg. I forgot to mention that in the list because he said, I outsmoke Snoop. And he said, I don't add nothing to my weed. Now, I don't know if that was a slight towards Snoop. Probably added something to his weed, but he said he said it in the same sentence, so I don't know what he was trying to say. But what he's trying to say is I don't do no play other than marijuana. So with that being said, when people keep trying to push his narrative that he's on drugs, and that's an agenda push. They want to make you either look crazy or that you're a drug addict, so you're unbelievable. So if you know this man, you ain't never seen that man do a drug. You ain't never heard nobody, like he said, say he did a drug. And no, Hazel E was just on Tasha K telling her all his business. Good business, by the way, that he was a good man and good to her. If he was on any kind of drug, she would have said so. If they did any kind of coke together, she would have said so. She seen something. She was around him enough and around his family enough to know. His kids would have came out and said something. They all grown. They know by now. He had too many people around him for them to have not said something. You can't hide. I don't care how long you are an addict. You ain't going to hide the fact that you on drugs. Everybody still come out one way or another. So they could kill that drug narrative. The fact that everybody keep using it tells me a lot. Oh my God, Faizon. Faizon called this man a one-trick pony. Faizon, no. You are not even in a position to talk about Katt. You gotta be doing better than you talking about. You can't call somebody a one-trick pony and he ain't got this and he ain't. Where's yours? We're not gonna talk about what everybody else around you, Steve might have, said might have, all the people he talked about. Let's talk about you. First of all, Faizon, somebody pray for him because he's looking how Beanie Siegel looks. After he wasn't with Rockefeller for no more. And BD's cool, clean now. Sorry, B. I'm not using you to disrespect you. But you clean now. But when you was unclean, that's what Faizon look like right now. Somebody check on him. Okay? It ain't... He's talking about Katt is asking for help. Faizon, you need the help. I saw you. Everybody, if y'all watch the video, you understand what I'm talking about. Somebody hurting. Real bad, okay? It's not good out there. So my thing is, if you're gonna talk about somebody, you gotta be doing better than somebody, all right? Because Katt Williams does have an Emmy. an Emmy. So with that being said, I can't even take Faizon at face value because you know once Katt Williams said, every time you do a role, why you got your shirt off? I couldn't do that but leg because it's true. I don't know nothing but like about 2 Faizon roles. Like the one with Chris Tucker, when he was getting close to him in the jail cell and he had no shirt on. Big worm. That's it. I don't know no iconic Faizon Love role. My dude. Tiffany Haddish. All right. Now, Tiffany Haddish has something to say. He just brought in Tiffany Haddish back around because he was explaining how he don't understand these plants in the industry and how they don't be having no stand-up comedy shows where people are lined up to see them and all that. And truth be told, you can't say that you had one with Tiffany Haddish before, I guess, to claim the fame. Okay, I get what he's saying. He said she didn't work at this comedy club. She didn't work at it. Now, she said she worked on the white nights. I mean, on the black nights. They wouldn't let her work the white nights. Stuff like that. And that could be true. But what I will say is this. Tiffany kind of ate a little bit because, Katt, you did kneel down and praise her when she got that Emmy. The image is out there, my brother. You could say what you want, but that's what you did. Okay? It is what it is. And maybe you were just trying to say, hey, I talked smack about you. You won an Emmy. I got to congratulate you on that. But it was the way you did it. First of all, we don't kneel before nobody but God. Right, Katt? Huh? Hello? All right, so that's I gotta come to Katt for a little bit when it come to that, okay? But Tiffany, I felt like her comeback was the best comeback. This is what stood out for me too. All right, he said they tried to cancel him when he said something about the Harvey Weinstein. He mentioned R. Kelly, he mentioned Michael Jackson. I'm gonna need Katt Williams to stop mentioning Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson ain't touched no little boys. But I'm gonna let him get that one. R. Kelly, he did what he did. We know. We all saw that tape. So we know R. Kelly's guilty as hell. He said P. Diddy liked the party. We all know that because he tried to take 50 Cent shopping. We all know what Cassie just said about him. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of stories. There's a lot of stories. You know what I'm saying? Going out there. He mentioned T.D. Jakes. He mentioned these people briefly and swiftly. But Harvey Weinstein was the eye-opener for me because he said it a while back and Hollywood tried to cancel him and nobody came forward. And he said he was I think in front of the whole team, his whole agency and everything. And right there, and Harvey Weinstein offered to in front of the whole building, like everybody. And nobody batted an eye, like this was just normal freaking behavior. To me, that's already problem number one. And then when I saw Gary Owens mention that somebody propositioned him, we don't know who it is. He didn't say who. But when somebody propositioned, he was saying something happened. How come y'all don't speak up until somebody says something? You know, because when Terry Crews came forward and said something, it was a thing. We got another young black actor, and everybody keep thinking he is alluding to Tyler Perry as being somebody that tried him too. It's like, how come when it's said, it's like taboo? But then when they associate it with the powers that be, the Illuminati, I go, Lord, that's a far stretch. No. Something going on. This ain't just happening by happenstance. And then I think one of the things that people left out was the fact that he mentioned Tyler Perry being a gatekeeper. Yes. Because granted, yes, Tyler Perry has put certain people in his movies and had to come along and do this, that, and the third. But really, what has he like really changed in people's lives other than for himself? Let's be honest. We got to be 100% honest. He's writing his own stuff. He's trying to produce his own stuff. It ain't been no big actors out that he touched. Because what big actors coming from any of them TV shows he's doing currently? There are gatekeeping people. He's gatekeeping writers, other black writers, other celebrity people. I mean, we see when he did with Monique, we can't act like this stuff is not happening. We can't. And then, like you said, it circled back around when Taraji was talking about her pay, and and Monique said it. She was like, I don't mean to throw it on the bus, but I got to say what it is. He said when asked if he paid her worth, he said, I took care of her. So in other words, he didn't really pay her what she should have been valued at. So that's a form of gatekeeping too, keeping her pay at a certain bottom. Because you're trying to put in for yourself. So you got to remember what he was saying about gatekeeping and people who are associated with the game. It all looks the same. You will see similar things, whether it be a light-skinned wife that don't do no interviews, whether it be them saying somebody's crazy or on drugs, whether they're being put in dresses or trying to put other people in dresses, where they are not allowing other people to level up, whether they're keeping them at the bottom. These are all for sure signs of what's happening. So if you see it, then you know what's going down. And he was very clear. He said, I am on God's side. They are on the other side. He said it was not a race thing. He was very clear to tell y'all it's not a race thing. And that's why it's so important that he mentioned Gary Owens, because he was trying to show you it's not a race thing. It's a spirit thing. It's a spirit thing. It's either God or devil. God or devil. What side you playing with? And when I say God, I got to say the Jesus side or Satan side. Let's say it like that. Because we say God, they try to call Satan God, and they try to mix and mingle. We ain't going to play that kind of game. It's one or the two. And what side are you playing for? If you stealing jokes from people, if you're lying about doing it, the proof is out there. You undermining people, undercutting people, you keeping people out of doors or trying to keep them out of doors, because you really can't get no door from them that God wants open for them. But whose side you playing with? You can't be talking about God gave me all my blessings. Yeah, granted he did. But you still are doing Satan's work with him. Yeah, and that's what Katt is talking about. So overall, you can talk about all the drama and all the hoopla and the jokes and he coming at people. And granted, he did do that too. But let's not miss the whole principle behind everything that he said. I mean, everything that he said. Even down to the reason why that Katt even left home is because his family, he said he had a relationship with God. He don't subscribe to religion. See, I pay attention to a lot of things, and a lot of things that say he don't subscribe to religion. He had to leave home because his family was trying to subscribe to religion, a form of Christianity, as he liked to call it, a branch of it. And I know what he means when he says that. And so he got ghosts at 13. He listened to God. He was like, sure, Jesus could do it. I could do it. He's going to be about his father's business. I could be about my father's business. Now he took different paths. And he didn't understand why this was this and this was that and why but it all started to make sense. Like even his role for Money Mike came from a life experience he went through at one point during his homelessness. So when you think about him, he's using his gift and his craft to do what he's supposed to do to reach people, because like you said, he goes into these rooms and they don't even understand that he's not with them. He's there collecting, he's there seeing, he's there knowing, so he can tell and expose the truth. And like you said, this man has been arrested 19 times, he said? 15 felonies, something, ain't never been to prison. Either he Illuminati or he all the way Jesus, and Jesus is keeping him, because that's impossible as a black man. Okay? But they trying to, like you said, trying to put cases on you, trying to lie on you, trying to slander your name, because that is what the other side does when they're afraid you're going to tell the truth that they want exposed. I've not yet heard none of them say that anything he said was a lie. Everybody just either call him a hater, try to cancel him as crazy, or have being on drugs or being unprofessional. And nobody has yet to call him a liar and say it straight up and straightforward. Now, I want to acknowledge something that people may have not paid attention to, other than the obvious, is the fact that he shouted out young comedians. He paid homage to those coming behind him. So not too often do we hear any of these other people speak about them or mention their name. And I'm going to call out Shannon, because Shannon, you could have did a better job as far as when you were typing in the comedians he named, you left out 2 of them. And I didn't appreciate that, because to me it was very lazy, especially when y'all was trying to figure out the dates that he could get right. Y'all could have figured out this name. They left out Chico and Carlos. Okay, let's be clear. You cannot leave out Chico and Carlos. Okay, and he mentioned DC Young Fly when they both was on this, or when all 3 of them was on the same dang on show. And Chico and Carlos has gone to the 85 South show with him. Like, how could you? It just doesn't make sense to me. But either way, he mentioned Country Wayne. He mentioned Just Hilarious. He mentioned Desi Banks as well, right? And so I'm gonna be a little petty, because he did not mention Desi Banks' counterpart, aka best friend, aka somebody who actually steals from other people. So shout out to Katt for that. If you know, you know who I'm talking about. But he made sure to mention them, that they're doing their thing. He said it's harder for them to make it right now. He said because the thing is, it's easier because they have social media to catapult them, but it's hard to sustain that. when you've been put in that position. And then it's hard too for them when it comes to the industry and them trying to take their virgin booty holes, in the words of Katt Williams, or trying to get them to sell out and wear dresses and stuff like that, or give their allegiance to the other side. And I don't know if it's clear for anybody else, but it's clear for me. He's clearly on this side of things, because for anybody to stand for on their own, not be afraid and say, I ain't afraid of you. You can't close the door. You can't stop me. When you see me, I'm bigger than you assumed I was, because he's talking about spiritual things. But those who have an ear, let them hear. And so I respect what Katt did. I think he started off the year right. It is a time of awakening. It is a time of reckoning. It's a time of truth. And those who ain't on it, ain't on it. And I'm calling out Shannon. I'm going to end this just like this. Shannon, I see you. Nobody else might not see you, but I see you. I paid attention when you said that you would get paid $1 million and put on a bikini. That wasn't funny. That ain't a joke. Check. That's one. Two, let us not forget that this is the same dude who would not even back Kyrie Irving. Skip. He did all that skip, he ain't wrong, skip. And then try to turn around and flip like he was, no. We remember what Kyrie was talking about. Us being the original, the true Israelites, the real Jews. And he was hell bent on shutting that theory down. Who you don't want to shut that down? The devil. The devil don't want you to know you belong to Jesus. He don't want you to know that. He don't want you to know your true origin. And Shannon was a part of that. He didn't big that up. He did not try to get people to go see it. He was trying to get you against it. I don't forget, because you did a big couple of interviews with some famous people, and Katt Williams interview going crazy. I see you. Because every time that Katt talked, and he talked about Ludanati, talked about the dresses, he talked about certain things, he got real uneasy. Y'all go back and watch that. See, y'all watched it, but y'all wasn't watching it. He was trying to defend it. He was getting kind of offensive. And you could say he's getting offensive because of his friends, but he said he was neutral. So yeah. Shay. Yeah, they already got you going Shay. Oh, and not to mention, what you pump like all other black people pump? Liquor. You couldn't come up with nothing else. You promoting liquor. I'm just saying, it is what it is. Know what side each person play for, because you will what? Know them by their fruits. And it's clear who's giving out what fruits and for whom and for where. And that's my piece, y'all. That's the end. Y'all wanted to talk about it, so we talked about it.